mother kept sending her to a room because she didn't like the way she ate, so she always said, send her to a room and no food, whatever.
Yeah. But she had a bit of an eating disorder, kept spitting the food out, regurgitating
Oh, yeah, she did.
and this.
Yeah.
So Mum punished her by putting her up to the room,
Right.
said, you're not gonna sit at our table again until you learn some manners. So
Right.
she turned into this, she changed that energy into something of creation, and that's why she started
Overall
making,
radiant, melting crayons, creating art.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was her way of dealing with it, yeah.
okay, all right, and,
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay, so we're gonna start at the top here,
Yeah.
where Mag says,
Oh.
oh no, Fanny says, all right, dear, that's enough, and then Max goes, no, I was really terrified, go ahead.
All right, dear, that's enough.
No, I was really terrified about making a mess. You always got so mad whenever I spilled. If I just got rid of everything in neat little curlicues beforehand, you see.
I said, that's enough.
I thought it was quite ingenious, but you didn't see it that way. You finally sent me from the table with, when you're ready to eat like a human being, you can come back and join us. So it was off to my room with a tray. But I couldn't seem to eat there either. I mean, it was so strange, settling down to dinner in my bedroom. So I just flushed everything down the toilet and sat on my bed listening to you. Clinky, clink, clatter, clatter. But that, it got boring after a while. So I looked around for something else to do. It was winter time because I noticed I'd left some crayons on my radiator and they melted down into these beautiful shimmering globs like spilled jello, trembling and pulsing.
This luscious and impeccable fruit of life falls, it appears, of its own weight to earth.
Naturally, I wanted to try it myself, so I grabbed a red one and I pressed it down against the hissing lid, and it oozed bubbled like raspberry jam.
When you were Eve, its acrid juice was sweet, untasted in its heavenly orchid air.
I mean, that radiator was really hot, and it took incredible willpower not to let go. But I held on, whispering, Mags, if you let go of this crayon, you'll be run over by a truck on Newberry Street, so help you God. So I pressed down harder, my fingers streaming and blistering.
I had no idea about any of this. Did you, Gar?
Once I melted one, I was hooked. I finished off an entire supply in one night, mixing color over color until my head swam. The heat, the smell, the brilliance that sank and rose. I never felt such exhilaration. Every week I spent my allowance on crayons. I must have cleared out every box of crayons in the city.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you looking prettier. You're awfully attractive when you get going.
Why, what a lovely thing to say.
After 3 months, that radiator was spectacular. I mean, it looked like some colossal fruitcake, 5 feet tall.
It sounds perfectly hideous.
It was a knockout, shimmering with pinks and blues and lavenders and maroons, turquoise and gold, orange and creams, for every color I imagined to taste. Yellow, lemon curls dipped in sugar. Red, glazed cherries laced with rum. Green, tiny peppermint leaves lined with chocolate. Purple.
That's quite enough.
And then the frosting. Oh, the frosting. A satiny mix of white and silver. I kept it hidden under my blanket during the day. My huge, looming, teetering sweet.
I asked you to stop, Gardner. Will you please get her to stop?
See here, Mags, Mum asked you to.
I was so hungry, losing weight every week. I looked like a scarecrow with the bags under my eyes. A bit of crayon wrapper leaks out of my clothes. It's a wonder you didn't notice. But finally, you came to my rescue. If you could call what happened a rescue. It was more like a rat.
Darling, please.
Now look, young lady.
The winter was almost over. It was very late at night. I must have been having a nightmare because suddenly you and Dad were in bed shaking me. I quickly glanced toward the radiator to see if it was covered.
Okay, we'll stop right there. Great.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
go, okay, go ahead.
Let's go back to that same page. I just want you to react a little bit more. You're doing very well, by the way, all of you. Fanny says, it sounds perfectly hideous, right? This is like almost a confrontation. This is where you jump out of your, and you come up and say, it was a knockout, shivering and glittering,
Yeah.
and this is your
Where is that?
argument.
I would jump up.
183, when Fanny says,
She says it was perfect, it sounds
Yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
hideous.
You say
Yeah.
this, and then I say that.
It was, it's like, as if you were saying, what do you mean perfectly hideous?
Yeah.
and a lot of power was lost when you say it. Sometimes you need to get up to express yourself, you're defending, so you can't do it when you're, so try that,
Okay.
jump up, yeah.
Right in
So
the
I'm
face.
I'm defensive or?
No, I wouldn't say too
Well,
much, but,
but sort of you're looking, she's looking at you, right, it sounds perfectly hideous. It was knockout, you're gonna look
Yeah.
at her mother and then go on with your big
yeah,
explanation,
and
okay.
and you rise on that, that line,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It was
So, go ahead, Fanny,
funny.
It sounds perfectly hideous.
It was a knockout. Shimmering with pinks and blues, lavenders and maroons, turquoise and gold, oranges and creams. For every color I imagined a taste. Yellow was lemon curls dipped in sugar. Red, glazed cherries with rum. Green, tiny peppermint leaves with chocolate. And purple,
That's quite enough.
and then the frosting. Ah, the frosting. Satiny mix of white and silver. Kept it hidden under the blankets during the day. My huge, looming sweet tooth.
I asked you to stop. Gardner, will you please get her to stop?
See here, Mags. Mum asked you to.
I was so hungry. Losing weight every week. I looked like a scarecrow with bags under my eyes and thin crayon wrapper released on my clothes. It's a wonder you didn't even notice. Finally came to my rescue, if you could call what happened a rescue. It was more like a rap.
Darling, please.
Now look, young lady.
we'll stop right there, great,
Is that better?
yeah, much better.